When you say he monitored how you spent the money, explain that to me.
Like, I have 2 kids, and I would have to, like, do for them or whatever. Then he would be like, oh, you buying such and such this, or you buying such and such that, or you didn't jack the money. I was like, you know, he said what?
Stuff that they don't need.
Yes, it was.
Stuff that they absolutely
Give me
don't.
some examples of some of the things she's bought them that you feel they didn't need.
The biggest phone you can buy in the store.
Did you buy your children a really expensive cell phone?
You felt getting promoted to the next grade, yes.
Getting promoted to the next grade, that's their job. It's like paying taxes.
Exactly.
They don't send you a thank you letter. That's his job.
Well, that was my thank you to them for getting promoted.
What?
That was my thank you for them for doing a great job.
But you're not supposed to thank them for getting promoted. That's their job.
Yes.
That's what it's expected of him. All that over-giving to kids, killing them. They think they should get applause for everything that they do, that you should rain cell phones and stuff for doing things that are basic. And you know, you're supposed, school is their job, their work, and you shouldn't applaud them for it. You should say, yep, you did it right.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I got a B. My mama wanted to know where that 10 points went. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm here and not running around elsewhere.
And I just needed help with certain things.
But before we get into that completely, if I were you, I would have jumped out with this. You say she cheated with a 19-year-old during your first year of marriage.
No, actually the second year.
Okay, so today we have an entirely different case happening in the court. So we have a lovely family. One, the husband who wakes up every day to go to work and make money for the family and basically provide. And then we have the lovely wife who finds the 19-year-old neighbor so interesting that she goes to deliver herself to him every day. So this case is about to unfold in various manners. So let's see how it goes.
Second year. Oh, you waited 12 months. Okay. Mr. Moore, why don't you tell me how you learned about that circumstance?
Okay. Because money, we kept going back and forth about money situations. We sat down and talked, and we decided that I had a job opportunity like 45 minutes away. I had family in another town like 45 minutes away from where we were living. So we decided for me to go stay with them for a month or two to work, and save some money and come back. I went up there for about a month and a half, came back with probably about $3,000, trying to get a fresh start so we can, you know, pay some bills and get back on track. By me not having a phone, we share phones. Me and her share phones, and a message came through from somebody, another man. When I punched on the messages, all the messages came up. Videos, pictures, and everything she sent. Now, this ain't even the man she cheated with. This ain't even the man she cheated with. Videos, pictures.
Of
her. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So, when I confronted her about it, she tried to lie at first and tell me it was some kind of audition for something. And you know, so eventually she came clean that it was a few men that she was sending pictures and videos to. The main guy that she was sending them to, he was incarcerated. So I let it slide. I said, okay, I was gone. Maybe you felt, you know, like you weren't getting enough attention from me. I'm
You
human.
were gone for 45 days.
Exactly. Listen, I haven't even got to the punchline. I haven't even got to the punchline yet.
Keep going.
So after I find this out, of course I'm gonna start going through your phone whenever I get a chance. Of course when I see it, I'm gonna look at it because I just caught you doing this. So now you're on marriage probation.
Right?
So I go through the phone again and come across some pictures that she forgot to. Now, let me say this, because let me say this before I say that. When me and her move into a neighborhood, we always examine what we call the riffraff. Well, it's a young gentleman in the neighborhood that me and her actually sit back and laughed at on the daily. As soon as you see this boy, the first thing you're gonna think of is he hadn't changed his drawers in 2 weeks. So when I come back and go find the pictures on her phone, guess who she's hugged up with?
It's the no-change drawers guy. Is that the guy she slept with?
That's the guy she slept with.
Ms. Moore, I'm not gonna fuss. I'm just gonna ask you, is what he just told me true?
Not all the way. We didn't come to an agreement for him to go live 45 minutes away. Him and a family member didn't get along, and he didn't have a job waiting for him. He had to go up there and find work, and he didn't come back with no $3,000. It's more like $300. And then so once he got up there, he started doing other drugs. He was going to the strip clubs. He was going to the nightclubs. Him and his family members hanging it. They kicking it. He just calling and texting every now and then. So I reverted back to when I was the booty call. I didn't know exactly what he was up there.
See her body language right here. She's not even showing any shame that she's the one at front here. Rather, she's trying to pick out how the husband necessarily found out. And we know in a divorce cause that emotional liability is undeniable. But Judge Lane is not going to believe any of her excuses. So let's keep watching to see how the verdict turns out.
Hold up.
No.
Hold up. No. No, don't even worry about it. You believe that he was hanging out in clubs and partying with his friends.
No.
Deeper still, he
Okay.
told you he was hanging out and partying with his friends. People can do that when they're out and that. And your response to that is to find the nastiest cat in the neighborhood and sleep with him.
No, it wasn't my response. He's supposed to have been working, saving
Can I
his money
please
so
say
we can
something?
try to get a spot together. So my thing is, why am I working, going to school, saving my money, but you up there partying, though? And there's the nasty dude. That dude was, that's what he's saying. You know, okay, yeah, I slept with another dude. He's upset about that. So now he's finna portray him as this nastiest cat running around America. No.
Hey, listen, let me tell you something. You could have slept with, I don't know, whoever's famous and handsome and good looking, and it still would have been nasty and wrong because he's your husband.
Exactly. So, I mean, it don't matter who it would I slept with. And then since then, but has he told you about, he giving me a second chance, but his second chance is for him to sleep with a friend. So I'm in the bed sleep, him and her out there in the garage doing sexual favors to each other. He done put an ad on a social site looking for cougars or whatever he's looking for. We could be together at the grocery store. He'll pull up on a woman and be like, hey, baby, can I go home with you? What's your phone number? All this type of stuff.
Mr. Moore, your response to that?
My response to that, thank you. My response to that, first of all, everything she was saying about me up there on drugs, she didn't even call me or contact me or talk to me. And then my family was telling me if I had a husband, there's no way I would go 45 days without. So I didn't have any friends. I didn't have any friends up there. I had my cousin. She's a female cousin. We went out a few times.
Ex-stripper cousin.
So
Family
what does that have to do with anything?
You know, I gotta tell you, your judgment is all off. You know what I mean? He goes away for 45 days and you think it's okay to sleep with somebody, but you're mad because he has a cousin that's a stripper.
I think this particular woman is totally done for because she thought she could hide her whole affair. But the most annoying part is that it's with a 19-year-old, an underaged guy. And then she thought she could hide this whole thing because the man travels a lot, which necessarily does not make any sense to me. And we need to keep watching. Let's see what exactly happens right now.
So what was he doing in 30 days, though?
Tell me about the friend that she accuses you of cheating with.
It was her idea. She said, "Let me make it up to you." She went and set everything up, and at the end of the day, I still didn't sleep with her.
What you do?
I still didn't sleep with her.
What did y'all do?
We didn't do anything.
Why you can't make it out of bed? And he like,
Your
oh,
Honor,
you
Your Honor,
won't
I'm
never
gonna
hear
be
me
honest with you.
talking about stop
I'm
no
gonna be
more.
honest with you. I was gonna
You were
do it.
gonna?
Yeah, I was gonna do it. But she set it
y'all
up.
didn't do sex tape?
She set it up, gave me the permission, and then went out, turned the car lights on, started honking the horn, threw all the stuff in the car, and acted like she was leaving me.
Did you do that?
Yeah, well, he's out there screwing another one.
You set it up.
Mrs. Moore, you want Mr. Moore to pay you $400 so you can return to Atlanta. Explain that request to me.
Because we supposed to be working on our marriage, and I don't think it's gonna work out. So I'm just trying to get back home, and that's what one-way ticket.
So, did you move to marry him?
We done moved like 20 times since we've been married.
Are you working?
Not right now.
How long has it been since you were working?
A week.
A week?
Yeah.
Oh, so you just lost a job. Okay. Mr. Moore, she says you want you to pay $450 to get rid of her. Personally, I pay up to $3,000 to get out of that. I'm just saying. That's just between you and me. But do you believe that you owe her that amount of money for any reason?
No, ma'am, because when all this surfaced, she was at home. You didn't have to follow me. What she don't understand is, I really put my trust in her. Like, this really messed me up. Like, I can't eat, I can't sleep, I can't do anything. You know, even though we move fast, I thought that she really loved me and that she really...
Mr. Moore, I'm gonna tell you something. You're what we call a toner brother. Toner is an old school for ink. Every time we air a show with a dude like you on it, I get thousands of requests from women all over the country. She said, if she don't want him, here's my phone number, hook me up. So we go through a lot of ink, after they air you. I think you're a good dude. I think you're a solid guy. I think you're kind, and I think you have values, and I think you got hurt by a trifling check, and I'm sorry to hear that. You're the kind of guy I'd like to replicate and distribute across the country. You really are, and you have my respect for that. You just low down, trifling, slow, and tacky. It is the worst thing in the world. You're gonna go home. He gonna leave for 45 days to get a job, and you gonna have sex with some 19-year-old. And I bet he was the tackiest cat on the street too, because that's just how you come across. What is the matter with you? You got the greatest thing in the world over there, and because he's not perfect, because he's not bringing home Warren Buffett money, you over there just sleep. What? I mean, what were you doing sending sex tapes to a guy in prison? Was it a public service or something? What is that? What is that? You need to check your moral compass, Ms. Moore, because you don't have one. And as to the $450, I wouldn't give you a dime for anything. You earned where you were. I don't know what you were doing. You didn't give up anything for the brother. You didn't do anything. You're not deserving of anything. There will be no recovery in this matter. It is so ordered.
So here's my own take on this particular case. For me, I feel this particular marriage is completely over. There's nothing saving it because this lady does not respect her man. A lot of ladies out there want, oh, my man should not cheat on me, and then you go ahead to cheat with your neighbor that is right next door, and then he's an underage guy, for crying out loud. I really love the way Judge Lynn served her justice and called her disrespect to show her that her entitled state is not going to work right here, especially for a kind of man that goes out every day and tries to be loyal to her every point in time. So it's good as Lorenza walked away, at least to find someone that will actually choose him. So let's hear in the comments, did she get what she actually deserved?